Get on knee. Grip. Look at our knee. Grip.
It's not. Back up. No, it's not in here somewhere. All right, before we get started, I have a message. Everybody here knows Sequoia Marie's taking at least one class with her, right? Yeah. Okay, she sent an article to me today regarding cortisol levels. How many people know what cortisol is? Nobody. Okay, it's a stress hormone. The more stressed out you get, the more these levels climb. The more these levels climb, the more your immune system takes a tank. So she sent this over along with this message. She suggests 2-minute snacks of Qigong throughout the day to combat stress. Set a timer on your phone and do one move, which we're going to do the one that she taught and authorized me to show you guys, which is the lifting sun and moon. And then walk around for 30 seconds. Do it once after breakfast, midday, and lunch. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner kind of thing. So with everything going on, I want me to pass that along, and that's how we're going to start the class. So I'm going to set my timer. How many people remember that move? Yes, kind of, sort of. Okay. The key is breathing, as with everything. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Basically from the yard. The hands are going to come up and down, but you're not up and down elbow. As you inhale through the nose, the elbows go back, the hands will just naturally come up. At the top of your breath, again, shoulders down, not pulling from the shoulders, just like everything else we do. As you exhale, turn the hands, straighten the elbows, and they'll drop straight down. So we inhale, elbows back, and brings the hands up. Exhale, and elbows forward. So think more about the elbows than the hands, right? Okay. So, for right where we are. Inhale. Exhale on your own rhythm. I'm not going to count this. Just breathe. Breathing from the belly too, from the chest. The only thing moving chest-wise or torso-wise, belly. Yeah, man. All right, shake it off. You don't have a ton of room, just gotta wander in your space. Alright, we good? Okay. From right where you are. Step out left leg, inline Shiko, left punch. Okay, alternating sides. Front kick, punch, one count. Like down 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, right? Eight. Eight. Up. Eight. Go. Up. Eight. Eight. Two. Two. Eight. Eight. Up. Eight. Up. Up. Eight. Touch. Eight. Yeah. Eight. Eight. Stop. Cheat. Go. Roku. Sitting. Touch. Shoot. Shoot. Eight. 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 Seven. Six. Go. Roku. Sitting. Touch. Two. Two. Hit. Ring. Son. Six. Go. Roku. Sitting. Touching. Go. Shoot.
Push!
Come in. Alright, pick a corner somewhere off the mat. Mass break. Yeah, all of us side eye. Gin Vigo, yes. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, from you on. So hold on, okay.
Okay.
How'd you hand? Yeah, man. What you know? How'd you man? Yeah, man. Emperopo. How'd you man? Come here. What you doing? How'd you win? Come on. Yeah, a couple things. We've been over this before, but I'm seeing it again, so we're going to go over it again. One of the big things that separates Shito-ryu from other styles is this twisting. Right? Trust me, you haven't lived until you have tried a full power hammer fisting down block and caught somebody's bone right there. You think the funny bone is bad, you get a whole new level of funny at that point. Twist. Even if you're using this as a strike, it's still twist. This is one thing. Will it work? Sure. Will it hurt? Yes. That is next level kind of pain right there. So get used to all of this twisting. The twist in and of itself, in addition to adding power and protecting the parts of your body you don't want hurt, also has bunkai. Somebody grabs a hold of whatever, and I do this, they'll laugh at me. He's going to laugh at me. He comes over here, grabs hold of me, and I try to break him off this way, he's just going to laugh. This is a whole new level of getting your heck out of dodge. Regardless of what the technique is that I'm going to use. Okay. Also, elbow. Pinky side lead. You know that. Okay. And when I say lead, I mean that. I don't mean kind of sort of lead. I mean lead. I don't mean kind of sort of lead. Unless you have some sort of arthritic forearm bones, it needs to lead. When we're doing this rising elbow, what are we doing here? Somebody, anybody. Strike, block, all the above. What am I doing if I do this? Get punched in the face is what's going to happen. Right? If I'm using this block or arm bar, break, here I missed it. It's coming in and I'm covered. How many people have seen this before? What is that? Agieki. That's all that is. If I'm going, okay, punch comes in, I go, I'm going to eat it. You have to put this rising elbow as straight off of your body as you can get it. Now, I don't mean muscle it over. That's just as bad. This is just lazy, and it will get you punched in the face. So, been there, done that. Straight. Straight. Little twist, nothing wrong with a little twist either. Everything twist. Here, nothing wrong with that either. When this question came up, and now that we've got more than one person here, I'm going to ask it. When we're doing kata, what are we doing?
Developing our technique for sheer repetition.
Okay? What else?
Working on balance.
We're going to balance. Okay? What else?
Muscle memory.
Okay? What else? Bunkai. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. Bunkai. Bunkai count. Learning the application, right? So, how many people have heard this saying before? That kata is a simulated fight. Anybody hear that one before? Probably some variant of that. Okay. How many people have heard the variant Somebody watching you should see that you're in a fight. You know for that, okay? You haven't? You hear it first time now. Some version of that, right? That comes from the timing, right? If you just go through a kata, okay, that's not a fight. And whatever the timing of the kata is. Where'd he go? Oh, home dojo floor. Oh, he pounded it into our head. Somebody watching you should not see that you are in a fight. They should be able to see the person you're fighting. That comes from intent. Right? Okay. It had a Bonkai timing. You fight that? Intent. Okay? So now, all of that could lead to the question. Given that in kata we're learning the bunkai and the application, and somebody should be able to see our opponent that we're fighting. For Goho no Uke, how many people are we fighting? Okay, I got one vote for 2. Who has a different answer? Say it louder. 1. Okay, I got one vote for 1, one vote for 2. Additional opinion. Why do you say 1? Okay, so just to clarify, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just clarifying. So, in your opinion, you're fighting one person because you're looking straight ahead. You're performing all 12 moves of the kata on that one person. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, there's nothing specifically that prevents the person to fight.
Say that louder.
I'm saying there's something that moves your opponent out of the way.
Okay, so throughout the entire 12 move kata, how many people are you fighting? You said 1. I'm just clarifying, that's all I'm doing.
I said one because you're only blocking and attacking in one direction.
Right, I got that part. Rock and roll. For the entire kata, all 12 moves apply to that person.
Now that I think about it, also too.
Okay, so now we're changing your mind. Thank you. This is where I wanted to go with this. You're not doing bad, you're not doing wrong. Just FYI. Why do you say 2?
I think you finished off the first guy in the first half,
Okay.
and I got him out of the way with that punch.
Okay.
So you guys coming at me.
Okay.
It depends.
As with all things that come out of my mouth, it depends, is the answer, right? Okay, here's the thing. You're not wrong necessarily. Something that he always said. If a fight lasts more than 30 seconds, you are sadly mismanaging the situation. No. 1, 2, 3. I should have this problem solved. If it's going into 4, 5, 6, 7, I am seriously mismanaging the situation. So we get into a more complex kata. Let's say kendo kata. How many people? Depends, okay? We're cheating, but yeah. Right. Okay, you count. Okay, the bunkai count is there to kind of help you with that. And again, you'll see demonstrations and you'll have black belt instructors who say 1 kata, 1 opponent. How long is Basai Dai? If that fight lasts that long, you might as well give it up because you ain't winning that fight. Ancient, same way. Kosoku Dai, Super Empire, 100-ish, 110-ish moves. I That's a long fight for one person. No. You're seriously mismanaging the situation. So, alright, having said that, I got it. Oh, we got it. Alright, where was it? Ten no count. No, wait a minute. We didn't do Empty Ruffle, did we? Or we did? Did we do Empty Ruffle? Okay, ten no count. Hajime. Come here. Oishiro. Hajime. Come here. Okay, follow-up question. If we break a kata into bunkai counts and we consider it one bunkai count per person, which is not a bad way to look at a kata, does kata, generic term kata, teach us to fight multiple opponents? Okay, I want to vote for yes. Dissenting opinion. Anybody want to vote for no? Okay.
Yes, but it teaches us instinct reactions. It could be multiple. Instinct reactions to any
Okay.
attack.
Why? Okay. Why do you say no?
Fighting teaches you to fight. Kata teaches you to be able to memorize motions and possibly put combinations together. He doesn't teach you to fight.
Okay. You went down that rabbit hole. I like it. No, all right. Rock and roll. We'll get to that rabbit hole in a second. Why do you say yes?
I said yes because it forces you to look at the next direction you're going. So that would infer that there may be somebody else you have to engage with.
Okay. His rabbit hole aside for a second, that's the answer I was looking for, because I agree with that. So, begs another follow-up question. We'll take Tenno Kata, for example, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll call it 8 bunkai count without getting too deep into it. Is it trying to tell us we can take Tenno Kata and fight 8 people?
Not realistically.
No, it's not. So how many do we think the kata is trying to prepare us for? Okay? I don't disagree with that.
One person at multiple angles.
Okay? Yes, I agree with all 3 of them. Where I was going was the multiple angles. 2. Okay, why do we think 2 is a realistic number that the kata is attempting to prepare us for?
I would say it's because you're turning a lot of 180-degree turns and stuff, so you're turning completely around. So basically, eyes first.
Eyes first, okay? Here's my opinion. If you end up, like the 4 of you decide to break off right now, at some point, my strategy better be running. Seriously. But in addition to all of the, look, what else am I looking for besides the next guy? Escape route. All of these turns. What comes next after a turn? A step, followed by another step, followed by 15 or 20 other ones. So A, don't get in fights. B, don't get in fights with more than one person. some point, you better be thinking about escape. Right? Now, let's dive into Shion's rabbit hole for just a second to clarify, because I absolutely agree with what he said, but to me, it's a deeper level. Okay? So, say it again.
The act of doing kata teaches you to be able to put certain combinations together so it becomes second nature. But only by truly doing a fight do you truly understand the differences, the stresses, the increased heart rate, all of the stuff that makes it a real action.
Right. So you can do all the kata in the world you want. Until you lay hands on another person, you don't know fight. You don't know bunkai. You can talk about bunkai all the time. Until you actually lay hands on somebody, it's theoretical. So, to take what he said, boil that down to one word that kata is trying to teach you. Yes, but more big picture. We're getting there with mindset. Strategy. It's teaching you the strategy of the fight. Shion's absolutely right. So you lay hands on somebody, fight is an esoteric concept. Strategy is always an esoteric concept. So, Tendo Kata. What's the strategy of the first move? Raka. I'm driving into this guy to meet him head on. Ready for how I'm thinking about it? Throw this guy, and now 1, 2, 3. Right? Deal with this guy. I throw him, and I go away. You ever think about why we have so many of those places where we do like 3 steps?
So you can keep adding.
That's one thought process. It's a distinct possibility that it's trying to tell you. Absolutely. I throw in there that it's also trying to teach you to go away. Right? Because like Joe was saying, once you lay hands on somebody, this doesn't really work real well. Works real well. Right? We have a couple of katas that do that kind of stuff. Name one. Everybody knows it. What? Pinanina. Same concept. Anything else on your point? You get? Okay, where were we? Chino Kata.
Chino Kata.
Hajime. Take your side up, gentlemen. Take your side up. Come on. Oichiro. Hajime. Good, come on. Pinon Shodan. Hajime. Come here. Pull, kick, punch. Don't cheat. This low. Seeing a little bit of middle outside block and press. Together, together. Makobu. You guys get a chance sometime once we get back inside in the dojo, check out Shion James's library. Makobu Sensei wrote a book, and it's a bunch of still pictures of him doing Naifanshi kata, basically. One of the reasons, as it's related to me through the translation of the book, he liked Naifanshi was because there's a lot of this two-hand stuff going on. It was translated to me as mother-daughter hands because they keep going together. So one of the things that Pinan Shodan is trying to show us here is this togetherness of the hand. If you look at some of the supplementary material that he put out as far as the drills and bunkai, it was very rarely this. It was this kind of thing. He was big on hitting people. And if you don't know the story of Tobu, look it up. It's kind of an interesting story. So, again, together, not chasing. All right, again, Pinan Shodan. Hajime. Come on. How many people have ever heard of a guy by the name of Jesse Enkamp? Not so much. No? Okay. Because I'm just that kind of guy. You know, I'm researching karate, as often as I can. I'm not in the dojo 24/7, but I still like to research things. Jesse Enkamp is a guy out of Sweden. I think he's a Shito-Ryu stylist, but don't quote me on that. I think he is. He does karate full time. He travels the world doing tournaments. He was up for the Swedish Olympic team. I don't know if he made it or not for the karate that was supposed to happen during this summer games. I don't know if he made it or not. And he travels, he went to China for like 3 months studying the roots of Okinawan karate, and he does YouTube. He's YouTube famous. If you go on his YouTube, type in Jesse Enkamp. He calls himself the Karate Nerd, so you can look him up right there. The videos are real good. He knows his stuff. But he put out 2 videos that kind of dovetail into some of the things that we've been talking about, or I've been talking about today, that I need to get out of my brain because they've been bouncing around in there for about a week now. He put out a video from his travel in China as to why we have so many similar motions in kata. Like some styles here, some styles here, whatever it is, right? Anybody want to hazard a guess beyond the fact that people are people and whatever?
Between different styles?
Between different styles.
Because of how the body is built.
Okay. Well, there is that. I don't disagree with it.
The question is whether there's similarities or why there are differences.
Why are there differences? Why do, okay, it kind of ties into what Ken was saying, okay? People are people, okay, right? Some people that makes sense, some people that makes sense. I don't disagree with that. Let me ask you this. How many bunkai to a shuto? Yeah, right. Okay. We'll go there. It depends, right? Okay. Which is how we were brought up. It's how I think about kata. It's how a lot of people think about kata. He was arguing the point after going to China that the equation is reversed. That all of those different variations were trying to show different ways to do the same bunkai. So, again, same here. Jutei here. He was saying that the only bunkai for those two is a block and a strike to the lower body. I don't agree with that at all. 100%, I do not agree with that. I've used it, he's used it, he taught it and used it 100 different ways. The other thing that he was trying to say was that here in Pinan Shodan, this Nukite, the Ippon from Ananku, and the whatever the Japanese is for that just flew right out of my head, middle knuckle and Jutei are useless in his way of thinking. Now, I don't disagree with his argument. His argument was that we no longer spend hours driving our hands into buckets of sand. Hours and hours and hours. We don't do like Hanshi did when he was coming up, knife hand a pine tree behind the dojo for hours. Oh, he also threw in the toe kick as a useless technique. Right? And that's what I did when I heard it. Okay? Because again, his argument was because we don't spend hours and hours kicking pine trees and hardening our bodies. So from that single aspect, I will agree, because we don't do those things. But trust me, even as little as we have practiced, a toe kick to the soft body works great. That man's toes, again, he hardens his body that way. He'll kick anywhere he wants with that big toe. I told you guys the concrete block story before, yes? Okay. I won't repeat that. So, again, part of his argument, again, that I completely disagree with, is he was only looking at bunkai as the apex of the technique. So if we take Pinan Shodan coming off of this shuto into this nukite, where from here to here is their bunkai? At every point. And point can be subdivided to your heart's content. So, given the fact that we do not train our bodies to strike this way, what are some of the bunkai that we can, all 5 of us on this floor, use this nukite for?
Breaking the grasp.
Breaking the grasp. I like that one.
Could be a strike to a tender spot.
Okay. With what part? You know, I agree. What part of?
I would not use my fingertips.
Right. So you're coming up. Ridge hand. I like ridge hand a lot there. What else?
Enter into the throat.
Ah, there you go. Entry. I'll come back to that one in a second. It's one of my personal favorites. What else? One of my personal favorites is this forearm strike. Whatever block, whatever. Stop that elbow. Rock and roll.
Tissue grab.
Soft tissue, grab it. Okay? Usually the one that most people come up with first is just making a fist. Okay? If I can't or won't drive that in, I can definitely drive that in all day long. So kata is not just teaching you here, it also teach here. Same thing. For entry into the grab, how does that, entry into the throw, that Shion mentioned. How can we make that a really omote, really blatant, rote bunkai to the top end of the eye if you don't show up? Sayonage, agree, but I mean even more omote than that. Even more than that. No, that's fine. Yeah, you two face each other. You two live together, that's fine. Brandon, step back. Low right. You're going to pump. Low your other right. There you go. Okay. You're going to step in and punch when I tell you. Okay, what I want you to do is you're going to slide toward me in 45 Shuko. That's going to be over. Now you're facing him. You're going to shift to the 45 toward me and do a Shuko to his inside and just freeze right there. So, go ahead, man. Step in punch. Now, Ken, you see that gap between his elbow and his ribcage? No, the other one. That one. I want you to step forward, drive your nukite into that gap until you're chest to chest. Now, what I want you to do is start to prep your Shuko and make the Shuko 45 turn towards me that makes the next motion. Nice. You get that on, you get somebody that's stiff in the shoulder, loading for that Shuko, they're going to go heels up to get off that shoulder. So, one of the, all right, young man, one of the sneaky things that he used to do in tests, and I still like to do, is bunkai to turn in, whatever. We just bunkai to turn. Nope. Okay, so, all of that to say this. Most of his videos, I recommend them. They're good stuff. He knows his stuff. I just disagree with him on an intellectual basis on those 2 points. Other guy you want to look at on the internet is Ian Abernathy out of England, Russ Smith out of Dade City, and Michael Gambrell out of Tennessee. Very good martial artist, very intellectual, very detail oriented kind of thing. It's good stuff. So if you once you karate fix, you're not here, you don't feel like getting up off the couch, you lazy SOBs, it's good stuff. All right, that was your match break. Where are we at? Whoa, Hachiman. Come on. Good? Take your glasses down for just a second. Take them down. Okay, put them back on. Again, rope the hole. How'd you at? Come on. Sorry, I have a brain fart. I'm sorry. When we come up here, I'm going to make this side kick. What's the trick to make that easier? Well, yes, but more specific. When you do that side kick, if you do it, and this comes from the man who invented kata, by the way, not from Jerry. When you throw that side kick, if you throw it as a strict, straight side kick, recoiling to the hip to make the load, to make that next step is really difficult. It sucks, to put it bluntly. To make your life easier, you over-rotate the hip slightly, almost like you're starting a back kick. So if I'm here and I do a straight side kick, to get a full 180-degree turn from basically zero momentum is difficult. If I rotate very slightly, maybe 45 degrees, the uncoiling makes that next move easier. I'm seeing a couple of you try that. Since you didn't know the answer, I'm going to say subconsciously. When you rotate the hip, you must rotate the foot with it. What I'm seeing is hip with the foot staying straight. A bad on the knee, bad on the hip, bad on the back. Okay? So if you want to over-rotate that slightly, rock and roll. It does make life easier. On the round kick, since we do so many round kicks in this kata, what is our ideal angle of impact for a round kick? Okay, I got one vote for in and down, 2 votes for in and down, 3 votes for in and down. Okay, in a perfect world, absolutely. How many people here have the flexibility to do that? Okay, again, an ideal world. So what are our alternatives? Straight? Okay, straight across? Sure. What else? Okay, okay. You got 3 choices. These ain't all 3 of those. In and up, in straight, in and down. So again, ideally a round kick and drop that hip and come back out. Rock and roll, if you can get there. And again, depending on your flexibility, the higher you go, the less that happens. Straight, it's a good angle. The other one, in and up. You just do the first half of the round kick. Right? So if you can do, everybody should be able to do one of those 3. Pick one, just be able to explain why you're doing the one you're doing. Oh. Again, ruffle hole. Hajime. Come on. Iran, yeah. Hajime. Come on. Okay, Brandon, I don't know what it was on the back end of the kata, but you got really tiny and really closed in for the entire back half of the kata. Sanshin, whatever that stance was not Sanshin. Make that Sanshin going down the eye. When you get into here, low. That no. Low. Close.
Close.
And again, Pinanita.
Piramida.
Hajime. Hey. Up. Come on. Brandon, make a Sanshin. Make a left Sanshin. No, Sanshin. Okay. That's more of a Sanshin than what you were doing going down the aisle. That's what I want to see going down the aisle.
Close.
No? Chico. Sanshin.
Close.
One more time. Pinanita.
Piramida.
Hajime. Come on. All right. Close out. My side eye. Jin. What the hell you want to do?
Jin.
Hajime. Come on, sir. Keep going, girl. Keep going. Yeah, man, you too. Come on. Get back up here to the top end of the eye. The knee pull from that part. Keep going. Keep going, keep going. Come back. Shuko and Shinokata, the very last one. Get to that. The other one. So do Yamazuki. Go ahead, finish this off. Okay? Come here. You may have a differing opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion. When you're doing Yamazuki, especially these shifting Yamazuki, scoop it up. Scoop it up. Put a body in front of you, try that, let me know how it works. Again, I might be wrong, but I have a different opinion. I would say the same thing, left side eye. Anytime we're doing Yamazuki, if we're going to do that again and roll high, there's probably somewhere else, but it's been a long day and I can't think of it right off the top of my head. In all of the kata that you know, how many times do we do something similar to that? The answer is no. Okay? We're going to change hands. What do we do? Draw. Right? I will challenge you to come up with a bunkai that does something like that that works. So, think about it. If I come both hands high, where are more than likely his arms? They're up here somewhere. Get underneath. For those of you that have not had the joy of having that man put that on that floating rib point, you'll see all kind of colors and hear all kind of bells. Trust me, that works. I'm not saying that that won't work, but where we are in the concept coming off of here, stuff is in the way. It's going to be in the way. All right, questions, comments, concern. All right, so that's you.
That's good. Dominique, right? Giovanni, right? Ottagani, right?
Yeah, we're going to finish it out. A lot of times when we're doing formal openings and closing, after all of that, excuse me, rephrase that. Before all of that, after Kyosuke, is the word Moku So, which roughly translated means to meditate. The exact translation I got from Scott, but I don't remember what it is, and I'll tell you on Wednesday. Something about standing still and thinking, but don't quote me, I'll get to that. So, from right where you are, you close your eyes. Kind of like how we opened this, but in a zazen type fashion. Standing, breathing, eyes closed, into the nose, out through the mouth. Just let it all go. Breathe. So Yame, that's how we end that particular part. And then we do the rest of the formal opening and close. Cool. What did it go on? You guys are doing the Ido, then get ready to EI.